In a heated final debate before the election, less than 2 weeks away, New York City mayoral candidates sparring over Zohran Mamdani's idea for the economy, including raising the minimum wage.
The reason that we put forward $30 by 2030 is that that's the minimum that a New Yorker needs to be paid to be able to afford to live in this city. Our proposal that we've put forward would be phased in over a longer period of time for small business owners to ensure that they could deal with this.
Zohran, stop dealing with fantasy and start dealing with reality.
Zohran does have socialist theory colliding with practical reality.
Mene Ukueberuwa from the Wall Street Journal editorial board joins me now. Mene, look, we could sit here and talk about whether a $30 minimum wage is reality. I don't think it is. I don't think that's the important question this morning. The important question, did those two candidates do enough damage to Zohran Mamdani to make any impact on the election, or is this basically a fait accompli at this point?
Well, there's no doubt that they did damage. I think that Andrew Cuomo had the temperature turned up on his attacks on Mamdani for the first time in the debate. You saw him reiterating critiques of Mamdani's lack of experience, his friendliness with Hamas and radical Islam in Gaza, and those were really having Mamdani rattled. He's usually very slick, but he seemed to be a little bit uncomfortable. Very same thing with Curtis Sliwa. The question is it too late now? A lot of New Yorkers are about to start voting. Mamdani has a very big lead in the polls, and so it doesn't seem as if there's enough time to close the gap, even though a lot of people are starting to see the downsides of Mamdani's campaign.
Yeah, I think that's a concern. And there's also this notion out there like, okay, let's say Sliwa does drop out. Is every single Sliwa person going to then vote for Cuomo? And I think the answer to that is a no, right?
Without a doubt. I mean, first of all, Curtis Sliwa is not dropping out. He has said very firmly, only way I'm getting out of this race is in a pine box. So he's in it until the end. But I do think a lot of his supporters are Republicans who don't like Andrew Cuomo, think he was a bad governor, think that he led to deaths of people during COVID, and they would rather stay home than vote for Andrew Cuomo, even if Sliwa wasn't on the ballot.
Let's go across the river to New Jersey in the gubernatorial race there. Candidates holding dueling rallies today. But it's not really about the rallies. It's about, I don't know, this odd video from the Democrat gubernatorial candidate, Mikie Sherrill. Watch.
Hola, Nueva Jersey. Mi español no es muy bueno, pero quiero hablar directamente a la comunidad latina. Soy Mikie Sherrill, candidata por gobernadora.
Oh, no, Mene. Every cycle we see this inauthentic outreach from a Democrat. Remember Jill Biden and breakfast tacos? Why do they continue to do this? Why don't they learn their lessons?
Well, it's incredible because you just look at the counterexample, which is Donald Trump increasing his vote share among Hispanics by a massive amount in 2024. And he didn't do that by recording videos in the Spanish language. He did that by saying, I'm going to lower your taxes. I'm going to get you a better job. I'm going to do the things that your family actually cares about. You see a lot of Democrats thinking, I have to appeal on an identity basis, and that's going to be the ticket. But they're actually losing share among a lot of minority voters in New Jersey. And I think that they're getting desperate in this shows that.
Yeah, Trump's not physically on the ballot, but let's face it, Trump's always on the ballot. Listen to this. A Rutgers Eagleton poll showing 52% of likely New Jersey voters view Trump as a major factor in their vote. But it doesn't say how that breaks down. So how do you think that plays? Do you think that gives the edge to Ciattarelli turning out the vote because Trump says, I want you to vote for my guy Jack, or the far left Democrat in New Jersey turns out because they hate Trump and they vote for Mikie Sherrill?
Like I mentioned, Trump has gained a lot of support in New Jersey compared with past Republicans, but at the end of the day, New Jersey is still a deep blue state. Most voters there do not like Donald Trump, and that's why you see Mikie Sherrill's entire campaign is mostly saying Ciattarelli is going to execute Trump's policies here in the state, and she's going to excite a lot of left-wing voters in New Jersey to come out and vote based on that.
And we see the 5-point gap right now. While the gaps are closing in both of these races, Mamdani still has a huge lead. Jersey, it's a little bit closer. We will see. Mene, thank you. Always great to have you, my friend.
Absolutely.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.